Hello everyone, Mark91 here with the 6th video, and well, at least the 3rd attempt at making the 6th video in my 6th video of my Dungeons & Dragons Basic Journal. One thing I want to say first is that I've kind of forgotten to make this video for a while, and thus we've played through basic game already, but more about that after I talk about the basics of leveling in this. And it will be really basic. I won't be covering every single character like I did in previous attempts, because if I have to record something long and I just fail at it twice, I usually get bored and leave it alone for the rest of the day. Which is why in the first video I uploaded, the one without audio, was in the morning, and this one is in the evening. Okay, so leveling in Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, the simplified basic game version, is that each character gets to roll a specific dice with a specific modifier to gain more hit points. For example, the fighter he needs to roll a d10 and adds 2 to that for his new amount of hit points, which he rolls a d10, adds 2 to that, and then adds that to his previous total, making up his new total. Not really sure what determines the dice and modifiers. Modifiers probably Constitution based, but also class based. Well, no, the dice will probably be class, and the race they probably just class. Okay, so that's how the characters gain hit points. Depending on also on class, they also get their saving throws improved. For example, the fighter got his fortitude save increased by 1. The rogue got his reflex save increased by 1, and similar things with the other two. I believe not really. I believe with some classes that no. Just forget it. But some at new levels, usually the reflex, not the saving throws increase, which depend on the class. Okay, then we get to skill points. Skill points are dependent on the character class, but also somewhat to intelligence. That's once I found online on a so-called Dungeons & Dragons wiki, but it's more or less some guy's work of what he and well, it's not a full Wikipedia and slash encyclopedia on it, but it has a decent amount of content. So yes, because of the well, to simply state it simply, skillful classes that aren't really good in magic or combat, like the rogue, they get a lot of skill points, whilst fighting classes and mage classes get less, being the fighter, cleric, and wizard. So the fighter got 2 skill points. You can learn 1 or 2 new skills: intimidate and or jump. It costs 1 point to increase a skill that's based on your class skill, and there are also cross-class skills like listen, search, and such, which cost 2 points to increase or learn. So I'm not really sure which skills they chose, but I know that the warrior chose jump, but not intimidate. Okay, next up is I'll go to the rogue, who had a lot more skill points, but his player, my younger brother, wasn't there that evening, so I leveled his character for him with a decent distribution of new skills and improved new skill, with a distribution between an even distribution between learning and improving new skills and improving some of his other skills like open lock and such. Then is Lenin. Then are the spellcasters, the wizard and cleric. The wizard, well, they both got only 3 points, skill points, and they usually, well, the wizard spent her points learning a new skill and I believe also improving one of her old skills. She got the cipher script, which proved useful later. And the cleric, she learns spot, I believe, and improved that. Or no, she learned that. Oh no, she learned spot and improved diplomacy because that failed during the last encounter. Well, no, she didn't know about diplomacy, but she thought probably thought it would be useful. In the leveling part of the basic game, it also says that you can, the characters, the adventurers can then buy new weapons. But I've had that open since the very near the beginning of the game, and it's probably the second encounter or so. So that wasn't anything new. They later on they bought before the final encounter they had also bought new stuff. For example. Near the beginning, the fighter had bought a great sword, which deals, which has a damage output of 2d6 instead of his longsword, which is 1d8 or 1d10. I don't really remember. I believe it was 1d10. But later on, he got a longbow and arrows, which he made good use of. And then the rogue, he didn't buy. Well, he did buy a hand crossbow because he was running out of arrows later on. And the wizard, she bought a dagger because it was only 2 gold pieces. She could throw that at someone if she runs out of magic missiles or something. And a crossbow with bolts. And the cleric, he could buy a new mace, which would deal the same amount of damage, so that wasn't anything useful, and a heavy steel shield, which would improve her armor class by 1, so she bought the later one. I know of feats, but I don't really know how they work in 3.5 since I don't have a handbook for that. But I do know that every so levels, your characters would gain a new feat. The casters and the cleric and the wizards also got to learn 2 new spells. Lanin chose Acid Splash and cast Fear. The cleric chose Resistance, which is a buff, and Shield of Faith, which increases armor class for the encounter. But that's about that for basic game. Since basic game has been finished, I've been kind of tasked to make my own campaign for next time. Yeah, that next time was today, but that got interrupted. I've been working on a simple story of a rescue mission. Well, no, I'm not going to spoil anything until after we're done with it. I'm thinking about making it about 3 encounters long. We've started the first one. We didn't get to finish it, not because it was long, but because of well, my uncle, the company my uncle was working at was going down. They said it was going down, but another company bought it, and he managed to maintain his job for less cash, which I think is good. But yeah, he showed up when we were going to have that first encounter I was making. He even drew up a map of a secret area. But yeah, they started talking about his job and all that such things. And I was just there for an hour long, just hearing them talk and waiting for when the hell are we going to continue. So I just packed my stuff and left. So yeah, we're going to pick that back up Wednesday. It is let's see, Friday I believe, or Saturday. Friday. Tomorrow is X-Men: The Last Stand on TV. I'm going to watch that. Never saw that movie. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm not going to make any, or not going to upload any. Well, I'm not going to make any journal videos for my costume campaign yet, because I'm still kind of working on it. I had most of the first encounter figured out, but the rest I got a flimsy story that I will build on and then finish on. So I will make one video on my my homebrew campaign. So I hope this was informational, a bit entertainment, and a bit entertaining. See you all next time, but until then, have a nice day and goodbye.